dành cho, tha thứ.
Spare. Spare. I can't spare the time for a holiday. I can't spare the time for a holiday.
Ghi rõ, chỉ rõ.
Specify. Specify. He didn't specify exactly which documents he needed. He didn't specify exactly which documents he needed.
Tăng tốc, chạy nhanh.
Speed. Speed. We are trying to speed investment in the area. We are trying to speed investment in the area.
Đánh vần.
Spell. Spell. I asked him to spell his name for me. I asked him to spell his name for me.
Làm đổ, làm tràn.
Spill. Spill. He spilt milk on the floor. He spilt milk on the floor.
Quay tròn, xe chỉ.
Spin. Spin. The wheel can now spin freely. The wheel can now spin freely.
Chia ra, trẻ.
Split. Split. The class split into several groups. The class split into several groups.
Làm hỏng, làm hư.
Spoil. Spoil. If you touch that drawing, you'll spoil it. If you touch that drawing, you'll spoil it.
Đỡ đầu, tài trợ.
Sponsor. Sponsor. We're trying to find companies to sponsor us. We're trying to find companies to sponsor us.
Phát hiện, nhận ra.
Spot. Spot. If you spot any mistakes in the article, just mark them with a pencil. If you spot any mistakes in the article, just mark them with a pencil.
Giải, lan truyền.
Spread. Spread. The news spread through the village very quickly. The news spread through the village very quickly.
Nhảy, bật mạnh.
Spring. Spring. She sprang into the boat. She sprang into the boat.
Ép, vét.
Squeeze. Squeeze. We were all squeezed into the back seat of the car. We were all squeezed into the back seat of the car.
Tổ chức, sắp xếp.
Stage. Stage. The protesters are planning to stage a demonstration. The protesters are planning to stage a demonstration.
Nhìn chằm chằm.
Stare. Stare. Don't stare at people like that, it's rude. Don't stare at people like that, it's rude.
Ở lại.
Stay. Stay. Would you like to stay for supper? Would you like to stay for supper?
Ăn cắp, ăn trộm.
Steal. Steal. She has never stolen anything in her life. She has never stolen anything in her life.
Ngăn cản, xuất phát từ.
Stem. Stem. Hate sometimes stems from envy. Hate sometimes stems from envy.
Bước, bước đi.
Step. Step. He quickly stepped out of the room. He quickly stepped out of the room.
Dán, đâm, thọc.
Stick. Stick. I tried to stick the pieces together with some glue. I tried to stick the pieces together with some glue.
Kích thích.
Stimulate. Stimulate. Let's stimulate the local economy. Let's stimulate the local economy.
Khuấy, quấy.
Stir. Stir. She stirred the sugar into the mixture. She stirred the sugar into the mixture.
Cất giữ, để dành.
Store. Store. She carefully stored her jewelry in the safe. She carefully stored her jewelry in the safe.
Giáng sức, căng ra.
Strain. Strain. He has strained a muscle in his leg. He has strained a muscle in his leg.
Củng cố, tăng cường.
Strengthen. Strengthen. He did exercises to strengthen his muscles. He did exercises to strengthen his muscles.
Nhấn mạnh.
Stress. Stress. I stressed that this was our policy. I stressed that this was our policy.
Kéo dài ra, duỗi ra.
Stretch. Stretch. He gently stretched his injured arm. He gently stretched his injured arm.
Đánh, đập, đình công.
Strike. Strike. Why did you strike him? Why did you strike him?
Tước, lột.
Strip. Strip. He stripped the old varnish off the wall. He stripped the old varnish off the wall.
Vuốt ve.
Stroke. Stroke. She gently stroked her baby's back to put her sleep. She gently stroked her baby's back to put her sleep.
Vùng vẫy, vật lộn.
Struggle. Struggle. We struggled through some financial hardships. We struggled through some financial hardships.
Học, nghiên cứu.
Study. Study. What subject is he studying? What subject is he studying?
Đợi trình, phục tùng.
Submit. Submit. The developers submitted building plans to the council for approval. The developers submitted building plans to the council for approval.
Thay thế.
Substitute. Substitute. I substituted your name for mine on the list. I substituted your name for mine on the list.
Thành công.
Succeed. Succeed. We feel that we have truly succeeded our goal. We feel that we have truly succeeded our goal.
Hút, mút.
Suck. Suck. I sucked my thumb until I was 7. I sucked my thumb until I was 7.
Kiện người nào?
Sue. Sue. She's threatening to sue the company for negligence. She's threatening to sue the company for negligence.
Đau khổ, chịu đựng.
Suffer. Suffer. I'll make you suffer for this insolence. I'll make you suffer for this insolence.
Hợp với, thích hợp với.
Suit. Suit. The climate suits me very well. The climate suits me very well.
Mời đến, triệu tập.
Summon. Summon. He summoned his troops. He summoned his troops.
Giám sát.
Supervise. Supervise. She supervises the catering staff. She supervises the catering staff.
Bổ sung, phụ thêm.
Supplement. Supplement. She got a second job to supplement her income. She got a second job to supplement her income.
Cung cấp, tiếp tế.
Supply. Supply. The school refused to supply more materials for the classroom. The school refused to supply more materials for the classroom.
Ủng hộ, hỗ trợ, đỡ.
Support. Support. Which team do you support? Which team do you support?
Giả sử, tin rằng.
Suppose. Suppose. Do you suppose she'll win? Do you suppose she'll win?
Đàn áp, chặn.
Suppress. Suppress. The virus suppresses the body's immune system. The virus suppresses the body's immune system.
Làm ngạc nhiên.
Surprise. Surprise. The news surprised me. The news surprised me.
Bao quanh, vây quanh.
Surround. Surround. The house is almost surrounded by trees. The house is almost surrounded by trees.
Sống sót.
Survive. Survive. She hopes to survive through surgery. She hopes to survive through surgery.
Nghi ngờ.
Suspect. Suspect. I began to suspect a plot. I began to suspect a plot.
Treo lên, lơ lửng.
Suspend. Suspend. The meat was suspended from a hook. The meat was suspended from a hook.
Chịu được, duy trì.
Sustain. Sustain. The branches could hardly sustain the weight of the fruit. The branches could hardly sustain the weight of the fruit.
Nuốt.
Swallow. Swallow. His throat was so painful that he could hardly swallow. His throat was so painful that he could hardly swallow.
Thề, hứa.
Swear. Swear. Please don't swear in front of the children. Please don't swear in front of the children.
Quét, chải.
Sweep. Sweep. The room has been swept clean. The room has been swept clean.
Bơi,
Swim. Swim. Can you swim? Can you swim?
vung tay, đu đưa qua lại.
Swing. Swing. The angry child was wildly swinging his arms. The angry child was wildly swinging his arms.
Chuyển, thay đổi.
Switch. Switch. Would you switch places with me? Would you switch places with me?
Giải quyết,
Tackle. Tackle. We must properly tackle this challenge. We must properly tackle this challenge.
gõ, vỗ.
Tap. Tap. Someone tapped me on the shoulder. Someone tapped me on the shoulder.
Nếm, có vị.
Taste. Taste. Please taste this and tell me if it is too sweet. Please taste this and tell me if it is too sweet.
Đánh thuế,
Tax. Tax. You will be taxed on all of your income. You will be taxed on all of your income.
dạy,
Teach. Teach. He will teach about his experiences. He will teach about his experiences.
xé, rách.
Tear. Tear. You've torn a hole in your jacket. You've torn a hole in your jacket.
Gọi điện,
Telephone. Telephone. I decided to telephone the doctor. I decided to telephone the doctor.
cám dỗ, xúi giục.
Tempt. Tempt. Chocolate cake, don't tempt me. Chocolate cake, don't tempt me.
Chăm sóc, có xu hướng.
Tend. Tend. She carefully tends her garden. She carefully tends her garden.
Thử, kiểm tra.
Test. Test. Companies should thoroughly test their products before selling them. Companies should thoroughly test their products before selling them.
Cảm ơn,
Thank. Thank. I politely thanked him for his kindness. I politely thanked him for his kindness.
đe dọa.
Threaten. Threaten. He threatened me with violence. He threatened me with violence.
Ném,
Throw. Throw. Don't throw your apple core on the floor. Don't throw your apple core on the floor.
đẩy, nhét.
Thrust. Thrust. She thrust the money into his hand. She thrust the money into his hand.
Buộc, cài.
Tie. tie. He tied the horse to a tree. He tied the horse to a tree.
Thắt chặt,
Tighten. Tighten. I tightened the knots and prepared to descend. I tightened the knots and prepared to descend.
tính thời gian,
Time. Time. He timed the journey. He timed the journey.
phủ lên bề mặt,
Top. Top. She topped the cake with cream. She topped the cake with cream.
tung,
Toss. Toss. She tossed the ball up into the air. She tossed the ball up into the air.
chạm, sờ,
Touch. Touch. Don't touch the machine when it's in use. Don't touch the machine when it's in use.
truy tìm,
Trace. Trace. We are trying to trace everyone who spoke to her that day. We are trying to trace everyone who spoke to her that day.
buôn bán, trao đổi,
Trade. Trade. I traded my watch for a bicycle. I traded my watch for a bicycle.
đào tạo,
Train. Train. He trained extensively for that competition. He trained extensively for that competition.
chuyển nhượng, rời,
Transfer. Transfer. I intend to transfer the property to my son. I intend to transfer the property to my son.
biến đổi,
Transform. Transform. His marriage has transformed him. His marriage has transformed him.
dịch,
Translate. Translate. You'll lose marks if you translate too literally. You'll lose marks if you translate too literally.
chuyển giao, truyền,
Transmit. Transmit. Insects can transmit disease. Insects can transmit disease.
vận chuyển,
Transport. Transport. The goods were transported by air. The goods were transported by air.
đặt bẫy,
Trap. Trap. She trapped him into admitting that he liked her. She trapped him into admitting that he liked her.
đi du lịch, đi lại,
Travel. Travel. They like to travel separately. They like to travel separately.
đối xử,
Treat. Treat. My parents still treat me like a child. My parents still treat me like a child.
run,
Tremble. Tremble. She trembled with cold. She trembled with cold.
tin tưởng,
Trust. Trust. My sister warned me not to trust him. My sister warned me not to trust him.
gập nếp, nhét vào,
Tuck. Tuck. He tucked his shirt into his trousers. He tucked his shirt into his trousers.
xoắn,
twist, twist. We twisted the pieces of wire together. We twisted the pieces of wire together.
nhấn mạnh,
Underline, underline. In his speech he underlined several points. In his speech he underlined several points.
đảm nhận,
Undertake, undertake. University professors both teach and undertake research. University professors both teach and undertake research.
đoàn kết,
Unite, unite. Let us unite against the common enemy. Let us unite against the common enemy.
cập nhật,
Update, update. Can you update me on progress so far? Can you update me on progress so far?
làm đổ, đánh đổ,
Upset, upset. He upset a glass of wine over the table. He upset a glass of wine over the table.
thúc giục,
Urge, urge. He urged her to drive carefully. He urged her to drive carefully.
định giá, ước giá,
Value, value. He valued the painting at $2,000. He valued the painting at $2,000.
biến mất,
Vanish, vanish. He seems to have vanished without a trace. He seems to have vanished without a trace.
khác nhau, thay đổi,
Vary, vary. Application forms vary greatly in layout and length. Application forms vary greatly in layout and length.
nhìn, xem, đánh giá,
View, view. I view this as a transition phase in my life. I view this as a transition phase in my life.
đến thăm,
Visit, visit. We visited my parents at the weekend. We visited my parents at the weekend.
bày tỏ, nói lên,
Voice, voice. He voiced the discontent of the whole group. He voiced the discontent of the whole group.
bỏ phiếu, bầu cử,
Vote, vote. I shall vote against the restoration of capital punishment. I shall vote against the restoration of capital punishment.
tỉnh giấc, đánh thức,
Wake, wake. Please wake me early tomorrow. Please wake me early tomorrow.
đi lang thang,
Wander, wander. The mother wandered the streets looking for her child. The mother wandered the streets looking for her child.
làm ấm,
Warm, warm. You can warm the pie in the microwave. You can warm the pie in the microwave.
cảnh báo,
Warn, warn. I tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen. I tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen.
rửa, giặt,
Wash, Wash. Wash your hands before dinner, please. Wash your hands before dinner, please.
Lãng phí.
Waste. Waste. You're wasting my time with all these stupid questions. You're wasting my time with all these stupid questions.
Xem.
Watch. Watch. We are watching television. We are watching television.
Vẫy, phất phới.
Wave. Wave. They waved goodbye. They waved goodbye.
Làm yếu đi.
Weaken. Weaken. The strain of the last few days has weakened him. The strain of the last few days has weakened him.
Mặc, mang, đeo.
Wear. Wear. Does she usually wear glasses? Does she usually wear glasses?
Khác nhau.
Different. Different. The two brothers are very different. The two brothers are very different.
Được sử dụng, cũ.
Used. Used. That is a commonly used phrase. That is a commonly used phrase.
Quan trọng.
Important. Important. It is important that you arrive here on time. It is important that you arrive here on time.
Mỗi, mọi.
Every. Every. We have taken every step necessary. We have taken every step necessary.
Rộng, lớn.
Large. Large. The house looks very large. The house looks very large.
Có sẵn.
Available. Available. That apartment is available. That apartment is available.
Phổ biến, nổi tiếng.
Popular. Popular. This park is a popular destination. This park is a popular destination.
Có thể, có khả năng.
Able. Able. I am able to go with you. I am able to go with you.
Cơ bản.
Basic. Basic. He understands the basic idea of the plan. He understands the basic idea of the plan.
Được biết đến.
Known. Known. There are no known side effects with this medication. There are no known side effects with this medication.
Khác nhau.
Various. Various. He watches various programs on television. He watches various programs on television.
Khó khăn.
Difficult. Difficult. The situation is difficult. The situation is difficult.
Nhiều, vài.
Several. Several. We haven't seen him in several days. We haven't seen him in several days.
Thống nhất, đoàn kết.
United. United. The family members were totally united to keep things peaceful. The family members were totally united to keep things peaceful.
Lịch sử.
Historical. Historical. They are looking at the historical data. They are looking at the historical data.
Nóng.
Hot. Hot. The weather is so hot. The weather is so hot.
Hữu ích.
Useful. Useful. I need some useful advice. I need some useful advice.
Tinh thần, tâm thần.
Mental. Mental. It requires mental exertion. It requires mental exertion.
Sợ hãi.
Scared. Scared. She is scared about a lot of things. She is scared about a lot of things.
Thêm.
Additional. Additional. Do you need additional information? Do you need additional information?
Cảm xúc.
Emotional. Emotional. She was emotional after watching the movie. She was emotional after watching the movie.
Già cũ.
Old. Old. She seems very old for her age. She seems very old for her age.
Chính trị.
Political. Political. I don't care about political issues. I don't care about political issues.
Tương tự.
Similar. Similar. These two songs are extremely similar. These two songs are extremely similar.
Khỏe mạnh.
Healthy. Healthy. He appears healthy. He appears healthy.
Tài chính.
Financial. Financial. They are reviewing his financial records. They are reviewing his financial records.
Thuộc y học.
Medical. Medical. The medical procedure took 3 hours. The medical procedure took 3 hours.
Truyền thống.
Traditional. Traditional. She wants a traditional wedding. She wants a traditional wedding.
Liên bang.
Federal. Federal. He works for a federal agency. He works for a federal agency.
Toàn bộ.
Entire. Entire. The entire document needs changing. The entire document needs changing.
Mạnh mẽ.
Strong. Strong. She is extremely strong. She is extremely strong.
Thực tế.
Actual. Actual. The actual size of the product is much smaller. The actual size of the product is much smaller.
Đáng kể, có ý nghĩa.
Significant. Significant. This house is very significant to our family. This house is very significant to our family.
Thành công.
Successful. Successful. He is very successful in the business world. He is very successful in the business world.
Điện.
Electrical. Electrical. That electrical cord is broken. That electrical cord is broken.
Đắt.
Expensive. Expensive. I found the trip too expensive. I found the trip too expensive.
Mang thai.
Pregnant. Pregnant. That woman appears pregnant. That woman appears pregnant.
Thông minh.
Intelligent. Intelligent. You made an intelligent decision. You made an intelligent decision.
Thú vị.
Interesting. Interesting. I find her stories very interesting. I find her stories very interesting.
Nghèo.
Poor. Poor. There are a lot of poor people in this city. There are a lot of poor people in this city.
Hạnh phúc.
Happy. Happy. Can he make you happy? Can he make you happy?
Chịu trách nhiệm.
Responsible. Responsible. I feel responsible for what happened. I feel responsible for what happened.
Dễ thương.
Cute. Cute. They are a cute couple. They are a cute couple.
Hữu ích.
Helpful. Helpful. This information would be helpful for new students. This information would be helpful for new students.
Gần đây.
Recent. Recent. He made a recent appearance. He made a recent appearance.
Sẵn sàng.
Willing. Willing. She is always willing to help her friends. She is always willing to help her friends.
Tốt.
Nice. Nice. He's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Tuyệt vời.
Wonderful. Wonderful. He is pretty wonderful, isn't he? He is pretty wonderful, isn't he?
Không thể.
Impossible. Impossible. I find it impossible to stay mad at him. I find it impossible to stay mad at him.
Nghiêm trọng.
Serious. Serious. Can you be serious for once? Can you be serious for once?
Lớn.
Huge. Huge. This project looks huge. This project looks huge.
Hiếm.
Rare. Rare. This is a rare opportunity for me. This is a rare opportunity for me.
Kỹ thuật.
Technical. Technical. That sounds too technical for me. That sounds too technical for me.
Điển hình.
Typical. Typical. That's just typical of her to be late. That's just typical of her to be late.
Cạnh tranh.
Competitive. Competitive. Our business remains competitive every year. Our business remains competitive every year.
Quan trọng, chỉ trích.
Critical. Critical. He lost critical information. He lost critical information.
Điện tử.
Electronic. Electronic. He used an electronic dictionary. He used an electronic dictionary.
Ngay lập tức.
Immediate. Immediate. The situation requires immediate action. The situation requires immediate action.
Nhận thức.
Aware. Aware. She was barely aware of the dangers up ahead. She was barely aware of the dangers up ahead.
Thuộc giáo dục.
Educational. Educational. The students enjoy the new educational toys. The students enjoy the new educational toys.
Thuộc về môi trường.
Environmental. Environmental. She is concerned about environmental protection. She is concerned about environmental protection.
Toàn cầu.
Global. Global. This is really a global disaster. This is really a global disaster.
Pháp lý.
Legal. Legal. She is the legal owner of this property. She is the legal owner of this property.
Có liên quan.
Relevant. Relevant. This document is relevant to the report. This document is relevant to the report.
Chính xác.
Accurate. Accurate. Her memory is very accurate. Her memory is very accurate.
Có khả năng, có năng lực.
Capable. Capable. I am fully capable of doing this myself. I am fully capable of doing this myself.
Nguy hiểm.
Dangerous. Dangerous. It's dangerous for you. It's dangerous for you.
Ấn tượng.
Dramatic. Dramatic. She gave a dramatic announcement. She gave a dramatic announcement.
Hiệu quả.
Efficient. Efficient. We are working to make the process more efficient. We are working to make the process more efficient.
Mạnh mẽ.
Powerful. Powerful. She had a powerful impact on me. She had a powerful impact on me.
Nước ngoài.
Foreign. Foreign. The new neighbor is foreign. The new neighbor is foreign.
Đói.
Hungry. Hungry. The smell in the kitchen is making me hungry. The smell in the kitchen is making me hungry.
Thực tế.
Practical. Practical. The plan didn't seem practical. The plan didn't seem practical.
Tâm lý.
Psychological. Psychological. Fear is a psychological condition. Fear is a psychological condition.
Nghiêm trọng.
Severe. Severe. His injury looks severe. His injury looks severe.
Phù hợp.
Suitable. Suitable. The movie is suitable for young children. The movie is suitable for young children.
Nhiều.
Numerous. Numerous. We have met numerous times. We have met numerous times.
Đủ.
Sufficient. Sufficient. There is sufficient food for everyone. There is sufficient food for everyone.
Bất thường.
Unusual. Unusual. I consider his behavior unusual. I consider his behavior unusual.
Phù hợp. Nhất quán.
Consistent. Consistent. His actions are completely consistent with his words. His actions are completely consistent with his words.
Văn hóa.
Cultural. Cultural. The cultural festival is an annual event. The cultural festival is an annual event.
Hiện tại.
Existing. Existing. They are assessing the needs of existing customers. They are assessing the needs of existing customers.
Nổi tiếng.
Famous. Famous. She wants to become famous. She wants to become famous.
Tinh khiết. Nguyên chất.
Pure. Pure. This cake is made with pure sugar. This cake is made with pure sugar.
Sợ.
Afraid. Afraid. He is afraid of dogs. He is afraid of dogs.
Rõ ràng.
Obvious. Obvious. The answer was obvious. The answer was obvious.
Cẩn thận.
Careful. Careful. Be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you say.
Sau cùng, thứ hai.
Ladder. Ladder. I prefer the latter version of the two stories. I prefer the latter version of the two stories.
Buồn rầu, khổ sở.
Unhappy. Unhappy. She makes him so unhappy. She makes him so unhappy.
Chấp nhận được.
Acceptable. Acceptable. That idea is acceptable. That idea is acceptable.
Hung hăng.
Aggressive. Aggressive. That criminal looked aggressive. That criminal looks aggressive.
Nhàm chán, nhạt nhẽo.
Boring. Boring. I find this to be boring. I find this to be boring.
Khác biệt, riêng biệt.
Distinct. Distinct. This picture is very distinct. This picture is very distinct.
Thuộc phía đông.
Eastern. Eastern. It is located in the eastern part of the country. It is located in the eastern part of the country.
Hợp lý.
Logical. Logical. His explanation is quite logical. His explanation is quite logical.
Hợp lý.
Reasonable. Reasonable. Is there a reasonable explanation for this? Is there a reasonable explanation for this?
Nghiêm ngặt.
Strict. Strict. We must follow the strict guidelines of the company. We must follow the strict guidelines of the company.
Hành chính.
Administrative. Administrative. He does clerical work in the administrative office. He does clerical work in the administrative office.
Tự động.
Automatic. Automatic. Automatic doors are used at most supermarkets. Automatic doors are used at most supermarkets.
Dân sự.
Civil. Civil. After her accident, she took civil action. After her accident, she took civil action.